today we'll be talking about Vespiquen, the only evolution of Combi being the evolution of female Combi who evolves at level 21. Vespiquen's previous BYC dates are April 17th, 1997, February 6th, 2000, November 27th, 2002, September 17th, 2005, July 8th, 2008, April 29th, 2011, February 17th, 2014, December 8th, 2016, September 29th, 2019, and July 20th, 2022. I must know Vespiquen as being the evolution of only female Combi. I think Vespiquen is excellently designed. The clear royal design works well for a Queen Bee-inspired Pokemon. Anyway, let's get into the Bulbapedia article. Hello and welcome to the Bulbapedia section of the video. Today we'll be talking about Vespiquen, the Beehive Pokemon, whose number is 0416. This is what it looks like. Its type is Bug Flying, abilities Pressure, Unnerve is its hidden ability. Gender ratio is 100% female, catch rate is 45 or 11.9%. Breeding, a group bug, hatch time 15 cycles, height is 3 foot 11 or 1.2 meters, weight is 84.9 pounds or 38.5 kilograms. Basic experience yield is 188 in Gen 4 and 166 in 5+. Leveling rate is medium slow, EV yield is 2, 1 in defense and 1 in special defense. Shape is that, has no feet so it has no footprint. Pokedex color is yellow and base friendship is 70. Vespiquen is a dual type bug / flying Pokemon introduced in Gen 4. It evolves from a female Combi starting at level 21. Male Combi are not known to evolve into or from any other Pokemon. Biology: Vespiquen is a bee-like Pokemon with a typical insect-like 3-part body, i.e. divided into an abdomen, thorax, and head. It has a yellow and black striped abdomen, which flares out from a thin waist-like protrusion under its thorax in a manner that resembles an elegant ball gown. Underneath the expansive abdomen are 7 orange honeycomb-like cells that serve as a nest for baby Combi. The centermost cell, however, surrounds what appears to be a slender yellow, more insect-like abdomen, which is often obscured by the gown part of its abdomen. Vespiquen has black arms that each consist of 2 thin conical segments. Each arm ends in 2 small orange claws. It flies with a pair of relatively small wings, each of which consists of 2 stacked, translucent teardrop segments. Vespiquen's arms and wings attach to its round thorax, which is yellow on the front, black on the back, and orange on each side where its arms attach. A curved line on its back between its orange shoulders separates its thorax and waist. Vespiquen's head consists of its face and horns. Its orange face has intimidating red eyes, yellow mandibles that protrude from its face and connect to its horns, and a large red gem on its forehead. Vespiquen's horns are yellow near its face and black at the tips, and with the gem they resemble historical headpieces or crowns worn by European royal and noble women in the late Middle Ages, such as the Escoffion. Similar to queen bees in real life, Vespiquen is a female-only species. Vespiquen is the sole queen of a hive of Combi, which it commands by releasing pheromones. The more pheromones Vespiquen produces, the more Combi it will have in its hive. As queen, Vespiquen gives birth to and raises Combi grubs, feeding on flowers to make honey for its progeny. It also controls and protects its hive. It is far more powerful than its Combi, and it will only take direct action if its Combi are unable to protect the hive. Even so, the Combi will defend their Vespiquen even to the point of death. Vespiquen will destroy and feed on any outsiders it catches sneaking into its hive. However, if outsiders prove themselves to a Vespiquen by defending its hive, it may repay these acts of kindness with a reward. See Vespiquen's grubs here. Vespiquen is the only known Pokemon capable of learning the moves Attack Order, Defend Order, and Heal Order. Evolution: Vespiquen evolve from female Combi, so Combi, female, Vespiquen. Game data, NPC appearances, Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. A Vespiquen acts as the queen of Nectar Meadow, though she feels the title is more akin to a manager instead. She calls for her Beedrill and Combi subordinates to desist against the player, the partner, and Badoo. She then gives Badoo some honey to give to her sickly mother, telling the baby Pokemon she doesn't need her payment. Pokedex entries in Gen 4 and Diamond. Its abdomen is a honeycomb for grubs. It raises its grubs on honey collected by Combi. Pearl, when endangered, grubs from its 6-cell honeycomb strike back. There is only 1 in a colony. Platinum, it releases various pheromones to make the grubs in its body do its bidding while fighting foes. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, it raises grubs in the holes in its body. It secretes pheromones to control Combi. In Gen 5, Black and White is Platinum's entry, Black 2 and White 2. It houses its colony in cells in its body and releases various pheromones to make those grubs do its bidding. In Gen 6, X is Black 2 and White 2's entry. Y is basically Diamond's entry, but Comb B is now the correct casing. Omega Ruby is Black 2, White 2, and X's entry. Alpha Sapphire is Y's entry. In Gen 8, Sword, it skillfully commands its grubs in battles with its enemies. The grubs are willing to risk their lives to defend Vespiquen. Shield, Vespiquen that give off more pheromones have larger swarms of Comb B attendants. Brilliant Diamond is Y in Alpha Sapphire's entry. Shining Pearl is its Pearl counterpart. Legends Arceus commands its subjects to build its hive. It will dispatch any interlopers who dare sneak into its nest and use them as nourishment for itself. In Gen 9, Scarlet is Black 2, White 2, X, and Omega Ruby's entries. Violet is basically Heart Gold and Soul Silver's entry, but Comb B is now the correct casing. Vespiquen in the Paldea Pokédex, so you can see it's not really a full evolutionary line image, is it? Because these are all males. So it's family, more of a, evolutionary family image. But yeah, you can see the Vespiquen and probably the male, Comb B servants. Game locations. Side game locations. Held items. In Black, White, Black 2, White 2, Sword and Shield, it has the Poison Barb 5% of the time. In Legends Arceus, Normal, it has the Dazzling Honey 35% of the time, Spoiled Apricorn 15% of the time, and Grit items by level, Alpha EXP Candy M 100% of the time, Seed of Mastery 20% of the time, and Grit items by level. I still don't know how the math works. Stats, base stats, HP 70, Attack 80, Defense 102, Special Attack 80, Special Defense 102, Speed 40 for a total of 474. Pokeathlon stats. Type effectiveness, damaged normally by Normal, Poison, Ghost, Steel, Water, Psychic Dragon, Dark, and Fairy. Weak to Flying, Fire, Electric, and Ice, all for double and Rock for 4. Immune to Ground, Resistant to Fighting, and Grass for a 4th, and Bug for half. Notes: if gravity is in effect, this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball in Gen 4, or a ring target, or it is affected by Smackdown or Ingrain. The effectiveness of ground-type moves is half, so go from 0 to half. In Gen 5, if this Pokemon is given an Iron Ball, the effectiveness of ground-type moves is 1, so go from 0 to 1. Learn set by leveling up. We'll do this Evo here, and I go down to 21, so upon evolution, it gets Slash, 24 Roost, 28 Air Slash, 32 Power Gem, 36 Toxic, 40 Attack Order and Defend Order, and 44 Destiny Bond. By TM, we're skipping. By breeding, there's nothing. By prior evolution, there's nothing. Side game data, you got all this. Pokemon Ranger, Shadows of Ulmia in the browser entry. It launches gluey blobs and poisonous needles to attack. Guardian Signs. It shoots stingers that make Pokemon tired. All this. New Pokemon Snap in the Photodex entry. Vespiquen gives orders to Comb B by releasing various pheromones. It looks almost like an orchestra conductor as it commands them. Evolution data, Comb B, level 21 female, Vespiquen. Sprites here, so like Comb B, it's orange instead of yellow. Does anything really change? Probably slight color differences. The eyes seem a little bit smaller, less detailed. The gem seems a lot darker. This is a lot less outside, or maybe that's just the angle. Platinums, we got this angle, mostly. Looks like it just animates between the two. Interesting. I don't know how much changes. The eyes might change a little bit. Yeah, I think the big thing is just the angle, right? Yeah. And then in Gen 5, we get the full back sprites. In Gen 6, you get the modern colors, and the eyes seem a lot bigger. So does these things as well, like the horns or whatever. It's a lot lighter gem, probably just generally lighter colors, and has the weird thing with the blue. You can see kind of how it's not always blue, and that's really interesting. It's pretty good adaptation, I'd say. In Gen 7, fixes the blue thing, and maybe changes the wing shape a little bit. Interesting. In Gen 8, Sword and Shield get the better models. Interestingly, it's red? Are they just now red wings and pink wings? Interesting. It seems like they're gray and blue in this game. That's interesting. Huh. Homes get these models. They're darker wings for some reason. Interesting. Animation, Vespiquen in Pokemon the series. Got all the Pokedex entries in Diamond and Pearl, episode 32, in Dawn's Pokedex. Vespiquen, the Beehive Pokemon. Its body is a hive, and it raises its offspring with the honey gathered by Combi. Guess it's in a Poketoon, in the manga, Vespiquen and Pokemon Adventures, and the TCG. Trivia: I read this first point and the sub-point in the Togetic video. Vespiquen can create max honey when Dynamaxed. However, unlike its pre-evolved form, Combi, it cannot produce honey, i.e. it cannot be caught with honey as a held item. Prior to Gen 8, Vespiquen had 3 signature moves: Attack Order, Defend Order, and Heal Order. Heal Order is not available to Vespiquen from Gen 8 onwards. Upon its introduction in Gen 4, Vespiquen is tied with Porygon for the highest number of signature moves of any Pokemon. In Gen 5 and 6, Vespiquen has the highest number of signature moves of any Pokemon. In Gen 7 and Alola, Vespiquen is tied with Alolan Marowak for the highest number of signature moves of any non-legendary Pokemon. It is also tied with Alolan Marowak and Necrozma for the second highest number of signature moves overall, behind only Zygarde and Necrozma in its Duskmane and Dawnwings forms. Origin: conceptually, Vespiquen seems to be a cross between a queen bee and a queen wasp, perhaps a honey wasp, while simultaneously drawing inspiration from beehives and umbrella paper wasp nests, as well as real-world queens. The red gem on its forehead may serve as jewelry, emphasizing its royal status. Name origin: Vespiquen may be a combination of Vespa, Latin for wasp, and queen. Beequen may be a combination of bee and queen. And other languages, related articles, external links. Let's move on. Now let's watch Vespiquen's first scene in the anime. Hello and welcome to the anime portion of the video. Today we are back on Pokeflix, as the DVD I'm working with is still broken, so we're watching this instead. Today we are watching episode 498, An Angry Combination. In this episode, all you really need to know is that we're in a cave filled with Combi. There's the Combi. There's the Vespiquen. And that is Vespiquen's first scene in the anime. Let's move on. Now let's see why other people love Vespiquen. Now let's look at fan art. Hello and welcome to the fan art section of the video. Nobody sent in fan art, so instead we're looking at DeviantArt fan art. For those of you who aren't familiar with the series, what we do is we go through these images until we find an image that doesn't contain a Vespiquen. This is PMDS, Town Residence by Monster Monsoon, so Lakeside Residence. We've got a Magikarp, a Vespiquen, and a Beedrill. Kind of very stylized here. That's one image of the Magikarp in a fishbowl. Interesting. Very well done. Then we've got PMDS Contest, Carp Das by Snailian. So we've got all these Magikarp here. And a Gyarados. Vespiquen up here. And whatever this is that's fishing, I don't know if it's a person or a creature or Pokemon, I can't really tell what it is, but very interesting. Then we've got Vespiquen, Gigantamax form by Locomotive 111, so there isn't actually a Gigantamax Vespiquen. It Dynamaxes, not Gigantamaxes, but this is what they imagine it would have looked like if it did Gigantamax. Got a bunch of Combi coming out of the hives here. The horns on there. This is all pink now and glowy. It says Vespiquen, Gigantamax form, type bug flying, ability pressure. It's very well done. Then we've got PMDS Intermission, Get Him Ass, page 15 by Snailian. So this comic here, I don't know what this is about, but go ahead, scamper off. So I think it's a shiny Gardevoir, looks like. I've got what I wanted. As fun as it would be to smear you and your friends across the ground again, I can do without it. Hurry up, run away while I'm still letting you. And they've got a Mega Stone. It's like, thou art mad, completely off thine rockers, if thou believest for 1 second that I am scared of thee, donned in thy new skanky little gown. Interesting. Then we've got PMDS Intermission, Get Him Ass, page 22 by Snailian, so 7 pages later here. It's like the battle is happening. Mega Gardevoir here. And it's flat with the Vespiquen, and it's trying to get up. It kind of flips for some reason, and then I don't know really what's going on here. Interesting. I've got PMD Vespiquen Portraits by Heart the Glaceon, so I guess the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon portraits that it has during its dialogue.
Very interesting. This doesn't contain a Vespiquen, so we'll move on.
Thanks to everyone who submitted fan art. Tomorrow I'll be talking about Pachirisu. As always, if this isn't my proper outfit, you'll see me tomorrow.